Welcome to the lesson in social science, our forests. Now, the last part we had read about the forests and how they are useful to us and the different forests in India. Now we are coming to the different type of forests in India. The first one is the evergreen forest. As the name suggests, these forests are evergreen. In India, evergreen forests are found in areas which receive heavy rainfall. Trees in these forests remain green throughout the year. They have very thick growth and do not shed all their leaves at the same time. Evergreen trees grow very tall. Rosewood, ebony and mahogany are examples of evergreen trees. These trees are found in the Western Ghats, Orissa and the northeastern region. In India, evergreen forests are found in areas which receive heavy rainfall. Trees in these forests remain green throughout the year. They have very thick growth and do not shed all their leaves at the same time. Evergreen trees grow very tall. Rosewood, ebony and mahogany are examples of evergreen trees. These trees are found in the Western Ghats, Orissa and the northeastern region. So as the name suggests, evergreen forest, the trees are always green, and all the trees in that forest do not shed their leaves at the same time. It varies from tree to tree, and so the forest looks evergreen. Now these type of forests, they have trees of mahogany, ebony and rosewood, and these forests are found in the Western Ghats, Orissa, northeastern region. You will find some of these forests in Kerala and Karnataka too, and also in Assam. Next is deciduous forest. Trees in the deciduous forest shed their leaves for 6 to 8 weeks at different times of the year. Teak, sal and sisam are examples of deciduous trees. Andhra Pradesh, Bihar and Orissa have deciduous forests. Trees in the deciduous forest shed their leaves for 6 to 8 weeks at different times of the year. Teak, sal and sisam are examples of deciduous trees. Andhra Pradesh, Bihar and Orissa have deciduous forests. So this is a different type of situation here in deciduous forest. The trees, they shed their leaves for 6 to 8 weeks at different times. Not at one particular time, 6 to 8 weeks there is a period for them to shed their leaves, and it is found in Orissa, Andhra Pradesh, Bihar. And the trees are the teak, sal and sisam are the trees that are found in the deciduous forest. And also in foreign countries you have the oak, the birch and the elm as trees in the deciduous forest. Thorn and scrub forests. As the name suggests again, thorn refers to thorny bushes, and these will be found only in the deserts of Rajasthan and parts of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Thorn and scrub forests are found in the desert areas of Rajasthan, parts of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Kikar, babool and date palms grow in these forests. Thorn and scrub forests are found in the desert areas of Rajasthan, parts of Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh. Kikar, babool and date palms grow in these forests. So as the name suggests, thorny bushes are found in the parts of Rajasthan, Madhya Pradesh and Uttar Pradesh, and you have the kikar, babool and date palms. And in some foreign countries you have the acacia, the cactus and euphorbia also growing in these dense thorn and scrub forests. Coming to coniferous forests. Coniferous forests are found in the Himalayan region. The trees in coniferous forests are tall and cone-shaped. Pine, cedar, silver, fir and deodar grow in coniferous forests. Coniferous forests are found in the Himalayan region. The trees in coniferous forests are tall and cone-shaped. Pine, cedar, silver, fir and deodar grow in coniferous forests. You have a picture of the coniferous forest in the textbook. Now as the name tells you, coniferous forest, the trees grow like a cone. They have needle-shaped leaves, and we had learned in the last term that these forests are there in the Himalayan region, and the leaves are pine-shaped, very pointed leaves in the form of a cone. And The trees here are pine, cedar, silver fir and deodar. With this, we will finish this different type of forest. Now, let us go to the next topic, that is deforestation. Deforestation means cutting down of trees in a forest and clearing the forest to make it used for something else. Deforestation. When trees are cut down in large numbers, it is called deforestation. Deforestation causes soil erosion. Landslides and floods are common in deforested areas. When forests are cut down, many animals lose their homes. It is important to plant more trees to conserve our forests. When trees are cut down in large numbers, it is called deforestation. Deforestation causes soil erosion. Landslides and floods are common in deforested areas. When forests are cut down, many animals lose their homes. It is important to plant more trees to conserve our forests. So as the name suggests, deforestation means cutting down of trees in the forest in large numbers, either to build apartments or flats or construct some factory or industrial buildings. Now when we cut down trees, what happens? A lot of wildlife, they lose their habitat. There are many birds who make their homes on the trees, they lose that. Many animals like monkeys and langurs living on the treetops, they are also losing their homes. So we bring a lot of misfortune to these poor animals. And at the same time, when we cut off trees or when we cut trees, the soil is loosened, because the roots of the trees help prevent soil erosion. They hold the mud particles together. So when you cut a tree, the roots are pulled out and there is a great chance of soil erosion and the top soil being washed away in case of heavy rain or floods. Preserving our forests. It is important to protect forests. We should not cut down trees carelessly. Several conservation movements have been started by the people to protect forests. Now we should not cut down trees, but we should see that trees are protected and try to grow more trees, because trees protect us from soil erosion. Trees give out a lot of fresh air and keep the atmosphere clean. The Chipko movement was started by the people of Mandal village in Chamoli, Uttarakhand. The movement aimed at preserving the Terai forest. It was called Chipko, which means stick to in Hindi, because the people of the villages refused to allow trees to be cut down by hugging them. It is important to protect forests. We should not cut down trees carelessly. Several conservation movements have been started by the people to protect forests. The Chipko movement was started by the people of Mandal village in Chamoli, Uttarakhand. The movement aimed at preserving the Terai forest. It was called Chipko, which means stick to in Hindi, because the people of the villages refused to allow trees to be cut down by hugging them. The Chipko movement was started in 1973 by the people of the Mandal village. Now what these people did is, when the government officials came to cut down the trees in their forest, they all hugged the trees, refusing the official to cut the tree. They did not allow the officials to cut the trees because they were hugging the tree, and that is how the Chipko movement came into place. Chipko in Hindi means chipak jana. Chipak jana means to stick. So they were getting stuck onto the tree. That is why this name has come out as Chipko movement. Caring for wildlife. Many animals are in the endangered list. To protect these animals, the government has set up wildlife sanctuaries. Sanctuaries are forests which are protected by the government. Many animals are in the endangered list. To protect these animals, the government has set up wildlife sanctuaries. Sanctuaries are forests which are protected by the government. So when you cut down forests, as I told you, you make a lot of animals homeless. They lose their habitat. So now what the government has done is, it is protecting the forest. It is not allowing people to cut trees in the forest. And also the forests are kept as wildlife sanctuaries, being taken care of by the government. Now the first one, Project Rhino at Kaziranga in Assam, protects the one-horned rhino from poachers. The rhino's horn is used to make medicines. Project Tiger is a program launched by the government to protect tigers. Tigers are hunted for their skin, nails and teeth. Project Rhino at Kaziranga in Assam protects the one-horned rhino from poachers. The rhino's horn is used to make medicines. Project Tiger is a program launched by the government to protect tigers. Tigers are hunted for their skin, nails and teeth. Now Project Rhino is one sort of initiative taken by the Indian government to protect the one-horned rhino. That is a rhino which has only one horn and it is in the endangered species. That means it is coming to soon become extinct. That means soon it will not be seen on earth. It will be wiped away from the face of the earth. So what the Indian government has done is, it has started a project called Project Rhino where it will be taking care of all the one-horned rhinos. Right now, as per the status says, there are 27,000 rhinos in the different forests in India. Next you have Project Tiger, which was started in 1973 to protect the Bengal tiger. Now tigers are hunted for their nails, for their skin and for their teeth. So this is also becoming an endangered species, and that is why again the government has started another project known as Project Tiger to protect the tigers from hunters. And right now, as per the survey tells us, we have only 3,000 Bengal tigers in the different forests in India. The Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand, Manas in Assam, Periyar in Kerala and the Gir Forest in Gujarat are some other sanctuaries. The government has banned the export of ivory and animal skin. The Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand, Manas in Assam, Periyar in Kerala and the Gir Forest in Gujarat are some other sanctuaries. The government has banned the export of ivory and animal skin. So the Jim Corbett National Park, the Manas in Assam, the Periyar in Kerala and the Gir Forest in Gujarat, famous for protection of lions, are some of the sanctuaries which are taken care of by the government. And export of ivory, that is got from the elephant, is banned, and also animal skin, export of animal skin is banned in India.
National parks, wildlife and bird sanctuaries, and tiger reserves in India.
Dachigam National Park. Dachigam, located in the Himalayas in the state of Jammu and Kashmir, is divided into higher and lower regions. It is a home to Hangul, an endangered species of deer. The snow leopard, Himalayan brown bear and Himalayan grey langurs are a few important mammals found here. It is also a home to Himalayan monals and bearded vultures. Namdapha National Park. Namdapha in Arunachal Pradesh is the largest national park in the northeast and is situated close to Myanmar. It is known as a botanist's dream, with wide altitudinal variations which has resulted in diverse habitats. Kaziranga National Park. Kaziranga in Assam is located on the floodplains of the Brahmaputra. The one-horned Indian rhinoceros is its flagship species. It boasts of the highest density of tigers in India. Manas National Park. Manas in Assam is located at the foothills of Bhutan. It is also a home to the famed Indian rhino. It has been declared as a UNESCO World Heritage Site. Gir National Park. Gir in Gujarat is the only remaining habitat for the Asiatic lions and has a thriving population of panther, sambar, cheetal, nilgai and wild boar. Gulf National Park. The Gulf of Kutch is situated on the southern shore of the Gulf of Kutch in the Jamnagar district of Gujarat state in India. Gulf of Kutch is the first marine national park of the country. It has complex coral reef ecosystems coupled with extensive mangroves. Run of Kutch. Run of Kutch is a desert sanctuary in Gujarat. It is also known as the Wild Ass Sanctuary. The wild ass is its flagship species. Ranthambore National Park. Ranthambore in Rajasthan, now famous for its tigers, used to be the hunting preserve of the Maharaja of Jaipur. It is surrounded by the Vindhya and the Aravalli hill ranges and is located close to the outer fringes of the Thar Desert. Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary. Bharatpur Bird Sanctuary in Rajasthan is famous for its water birds and migratory birds, including the Siberian crane. Saraska Tiger Reserve. Saraska Tiger Reserve in Rajasthan now has no more tigers due to unchecked poaching. Some of the wildlife found in Saraska Tiger Reserve includes the Bengal tiger, leopard, jungle cat, caracal, striped hyena, golden jackal, cheetal, etc. Dudhwa National Park. Dudhwa National Park in Uttar Pradesh supports the largest population of swamp deer and tigers. Corbett National Park. Corbett National Park in Uttarakhand is situated at the foothills of the Himalayas. It is India's first national park and also one of the finest. Over 585 species of resident and migratory birds have been categorized, including the crested serpent eagle, blossom-headed parakeet, and the red jungle fowl, etc. Sundarbans National Park. Sundarbans mangrove forests are located mostly in Bangladesh and a little in India. In West Bengal, it is a part of the world's largest delta formed by the Ganga, Brahmaputra, and Meghna rivers. It is a home to the Royal Bengal tiger. Chilka Lake Bird Sanctuary. Chilka Lake Bird Sanctuary is Asia's largest island saltwater lagoon. It is a home to one of the world's largest breeding colonies of flamingos. Bandhavgarh National Park. Bandhavgarh is also known as White Tiger Country. The Sal forest of Bandhavgarh in Madhya Pradesh is a home to tigers, leopards, gaur, sambar, and four-horned antelopes. Kanha in Madhya Pradesh. Kanha in Madhya Pradesh is the largest wildlife sanctuary in Asia. It is famous for its swamp deer and its tigers. Melghat Tiger Reserve. Melghat is situated in the catchment of the 5 major tributaries of the river Tapti. The main fauna found here are tiger, leopard, sloth bear, wild dog, jackal, sambar, gaur, barking deer, nilgai, cheetal, chausingha, rattle, flying squirrel, wild boar, langur, rhesus monkey, porcupine, pangolin, mouse deer, python, otter, and black-naped hare. Tadoba National Park. Tadoba, located in Maharashtra, is also known as the Jewel of Vidarbha. It is the oldest park of Maharashtra. Tadoba Tiger Reserve is home to rare Indian wildlife like leopards, sloth bears, gaur, nilgai, wild dogs, hyenas, etc. Bandipur National Park. Bandipur and Nagarhole National Parks in Karnataka are rich in flora and fauna. These are famous for their tigers, leopards, cheetal, sambar, gaur, and elephants. Mudumalai Sanctuary. Mudumalai in Tamil Nadu is a continuation of the Bandipur National Park, separated by the river Moyar. Here one can often spot herds of endangered Indian elephants, vulnerable gaur, and cheetal. The sanctuary is a haven for Bengal tigers and Indian leopards and other threatened species. Periyar Wildlife Sanctuary and National Park. Periyar in Kerala is nested in the mountain ranges of the Western Ghats. It also has a 5,560-hectare lake by the same name. Periyar is a highly protected tiger reserve and elephant reserve. Other mammals found here include gaur, bison, sambar, barking deer, and mouse deer.
With this, we come to the end of the lesson. Now let's go on to the exercises. Take the correct answer. A. 1. Forests are home to animals and plants. 2. Evergreen forests receive heavy rainfall. 3. The Corbett National Park is in Uttarakhand. 4. Deforestation causes soil erosion. 5. Teak and sal grow in deciduous forests. B. Answer the following questions. What is a forest? It is a large area of land covered by trees. List 3 uses of forest. Now, forests you get a lot of fresh air, oxygen, unpolluted air. Then it gives us a lot of vegetables, or you can say fruits needed for our daily use. Then it gives us firewood, and also we get a lot of medicinal plants. Then it makes the climate also cooler. Now list 3 uses of forest. Now here the uses of forest is: 1, it makes the climate cooler. 2nd, the amount of rainfall is increased. 3rd, we get a lot of firewood from the forest, and then also there are a lot of medicinal plants that grow in the forest. So these are some of the uses of forest. 3rd one, describe the trees in evergreen forest. They are tall trees, they are evergreen, and all the trees don't shed their leaves at one particular time. And rosewood, ebony and mahogany are examples of evergreen trees. What is deforestation? Deforestation is nothing but cutting down of trees. 5. What has the government done to protect wildlife? Now the government has taken charge over some of the sanctuaries, and that way it has helped to protect wildlife. Projects like Project Rhino and Project Tiger has been taken up by the government to protect the rhino and the tigers. What happens to animals when forests are cleared? When forests are cleared and when trees are cut, the poor animals, they lose their homes. They become homeless. That is what happens. Now for your homework, I want you to do A and B in the notebook, and C can be done in the textbook itself. Number C, solving the crossword puzzle is your job. Since I have done all the question answers and the ticking the correct choices, C will be your job to solve the puzzle and send the answers to the school WhatsApp number. Thank you.